Okay, in this section we're going to pick up where we left off last time. We said we were illustrating the circular flow model of the economy. On this axis we have expenditures. On this axis down here we said we had income. And according to the Keynesian view, this 45-degree green line here shows where the economy will equilibrate. In other words, the economy is going to equilibrate someplace on this 45-degree line, because that's where the force pulling this way exactly equals the force pulling this way, and we're going to equilibrate in there. That's where we're going to hover. Now the question then is, well, I was going to say the question is that a good spot to equilibrate or a bad spot to equilibrate? But the first thing I want to show you here is that this black line here was our consumption function, and it says as we get this flow of income coming in and the flow of output going around, we get this black line here, which we call the consumption function. And according to this Keynesian model, where the consumption function, this black line, intersects with this 45-degree equilibration line, that is where the economy will equilibrate. If I can use my shorthand again, you are here. Where? Where is the economy going to be? The economy is going to equilibrate on this green 45-degree line. It's going to equilibrate where our consumption function intersects with it. That's where our income is going to exactly match our expenditure outflow. So far, so good? Okay. Now, the next question is, okay, you are here. This is where we are. But where do we want to be? Where is full employment? Where is potential income? Oh, well, potential income, this red line here, the potential income is where we go straight up until we hit the degree line. The economy will equilibrate on the green 45-degree line somewhere. It will actually be wherever the consumption function intersects with it. But is that where we want the economy to be? Or do we want to be here? Remember that? You are here. Back here. This income matches that expenditure. Where do we want to be? Well, our potential income is clear over here. We could, instead of making this kind of income and having this kind of Christmas, we could have this kind of income and this kind of Christmas. Which is gooder? That was a technical term for you. Just thought I'd throw that in there because it was obvious, right? Well, we want to be making as much money as we possibly can so we can spend as much money as we can. And if we want to be up here, but all of a sudden, rather than having this much income, we got all this unemployment and only working 2 out of 5 days a week, and we only have this income here, and we're here, man, that's a long ways away from being up here. So if we are here, this is called Recessionville. I'm calling it Recessionville. We're in a recession. Why? Because we aren't any place close to potential income. We're not any place close to potential expenditure. There's factories out there, and there's people standing down at the union hall. There's people just going to the bar every day because they can't find a job where they could be productive. They could be producing stuff, and it doesn't make any sense to be hovering in Recessionville when we could have full employment. All we have to do is get increased aggregate demand, increased spending, get the circular flow model going here so we can increase our income and increase our expenditure, because there's no good reason that we should be down here in Recessionville when we've got the full capacity to be up here in Employmentville. Does that make sense? So if we're down here, and that's all the consumers are going to spend, all the business is going to spend, all the corners, and that's all the government spending right now, well then who's going to bail us out? Do you think we can get consumers to be optimistic and spend more to move this line up? Do you think we get business to be more optimistic to spend more, move this line up? Or maybe foreigners would just have mercy on us and buy American and move the line up? No. If we are in a recession, then this gap right here, that gap where we got to increase aggregate spending, and this is the guy that Keynes says got to do it. It's government. Government's got to get in there and prime this circular flow to get it going on its own. Then it can back off. But it's got to get it so it goes from here. I'm getting too many lines in here. So I have to get some lines out of here. So we want to increase our spending so that it crosses this line up here. So it doesn't cross down here. We want it to cross up there. Now, if we can increase autonomous spending of government or autonomous spending of anybody else, then we can get this curve, this C plus I plus G curve, to go up. We need to get that thing higher. We need to increase autonomous spending to get this whole curve to move up. If we can increase autonomous spending, then we can get a new, if I can draw this correctly, about this much about here. So we can get this thing to get up here. We got to increase aggregate demand, aggregate spending from here up to here so we can move off this point A and get us up to this point B. If we can get up here, then everybody's making as much money as they possibly can. We're spending as much money as we possibly can, and we will equilibrate. We will hover in economic nirvana. It will be a wonderful, wonderful world. There is, according to the Keynesian view, there is no reason for us to equilibrate, us to be in a depression year after year after year after year, and the invisible hand's not going to get us up here to full employment. The invisible hand isn't going to spend more money to get the economy moving again. So it's got to be government, and the government economists have to figure out how much more they got to spend into the economy in order to move us from here to here. So far, so good? Yeah? Okay. So you think you could maybe draw this on your own? Possibly? Maybe? Hopefully? Just start from the real basics and build up. Okay. Let's say, let me get rid of this. Let's say that we are no longer on this curve. Let's say that the government was able to do the job perfectly. Government economists, with their magic computers and equations, figured out exactly what this gap was, this recessionary gap was. Of course, now there is no gap anymore. The gap's gone. And the economy is hovering away just perfectly, exactly where we want it to be. Everything's going great. Full employment. Factories humming away. Couldn't be any better. And then let's say that all of a sudden that some foreigners, for some dumb reason, I don't know what it is, some dumb reason, they want to buy American culture. They want to buy American jeans. They want to buy American music. They want to buy American food. They want to buy anything that's grown or manufactured in America. I don't know what maybe pet rocks. They want to buy American pet rocks or pretty pet rocks. Whatever they want to buy American. Now, when all of a sudden they want to buy, wait a minute, we're already at full employment. We're already at full employment. How's this going to work? We're going to answer that question in the next module.